You're listening to the 253rd edition of the Bitachon podcast. We continue in passuk in Mishlei in Proverbs chapter 16 verse 20. Maskil al davar yimtza tov. Someone who's wise about a matter will find good. B'tech b'Hashem ashraf. The one who trusts in Hashem, he is praiseworthy. He is truly happy, deeply happy. Says the Metzudas David. Someone who contemplates and sees till the end of a matter. The person goes through life without thinking, so they get the results of that, which is never very good. But a person who does contemplate, who does think about the results of his actions, that person will find good, and they will succeed. And if after all of this contemplation, he trusts in Hashem, ashrei lo, praiseworthy is he. And perhaps we could say that it's easy to be misboinen in life, to contemplate and see, hey, this is what works. And then think, okay, I'm just going to keep doing that. And it might even work. But if a person thinks deeper and really understands what's going on in reality, the realization comes that I'm only able to be matzliach. Even if things are working, the rules are set by the one who creates the rules, and that's Hashem. So that's a real joy. That's a real happiness. Says the Malbim. Omnam yesh derech acher. She'ena maskil al dvar of klal. The Malbim says that one path is that a person thinks about matters. A person is wise. A person uses his intellect, uses his intuition to try to succeed in life. But there's a deeper level, and that's somebody who doesn't think at all intellectually, doesn't try to figure things out. Rak b'tech b'Hashem. He just trusts in Hashem. U'mamin she'Hashem yasa kol lefi hashgacha. And he believes that Hashem will do everything according to hashgacha, according to his divine providence. Az ashrav. That person is praiseworthy. He's joyous. He lives a happy life. Because this is the joy and the success, which is a spiritual success, and which is divinely guided. Being successful is a nice thing, but being deeply joyful is what we're really after. Why does a person want success? It's so that I can enjoy and I can sit back and relax and feel good about life and feel confident, feel happy. But there's a deeper happiness that comes where nothing knocks me over. It's not dependent on my circumstances. That's called bitachon. This is the joy of the soul, says the Malbim. Maskil al davar yimtza tov. The Gra explains as follows. One who is wise about a matter, he will find good. He says if a person exerts effort when it comes to learning Torah, so it's appropriate and correct. Alter Nevada speaks about this as well. It's appropriate in matters of spirituality, in learning Torah, in trying to understand what is Hashem's will. So there I need to exert effort. And there, according to my effort, I'll find success. He brings here from the Ramchal in the note. The Ramchal explains what is the concept of that which it says in the Zohar about those who don't pay attention and they don't know, which sounds like you got to be paying attention, you got to be using your intellect, you got to be involved in reality if you want to succeed. Passuk says that, so the Ramchal basically says the same thing as the Gra, that a person who is wise finds good. What is good? Tov is the Torah. And this is a general principle in learning. If a person does not put in effort and they're able to succeed, don't believe them, because when it comes to spiritual matters, a person needs to put in every effort. The Gra continues, when it comes to matters of the physical realm, it's not so. Rather, the one who trusts in Hashem is praiseworthy. And what does it mean he's happy and joyous and praiseworthy? It means in this world and the next. Also when it comes to Torah, to studying the Torah, and also prayer, in Torah the person is wise. When it comes to prayer, when it comes to Torah, so a person should put in every effort and try to accomplish and succeed in his Torah learning. But when it comes to a person's prayers, it's not about me and my success, says the Gra. He should trust in Hashem and not be involved in directing his prayers for his own personal needs. Because a person who is trying to get what he wants out of prayer, and I would add, out of bitachon, if my concern here is to get what I want, so that's not the direction of prayer. That's not the direction of spirituality. It's not about getting what I want. It's about doing what Hashem wants. It's about recognizing that Hashem is behind everything, that He's in charge of everything. And that even the words coming out as I'm speaking right now, it's Hashem guiding my words. Right? So when it comes to prayer, I'm not praying for myself. I'm not davening for my own success. I'm davening that Hashem's will should be done. Or I'm davening to recognize that it's in Hashem's power for my success to occur. He brings the Alshich. Maskel davar yim tzatoiv. Mustakal mechabis nechasav b'chol yoim marviach histera. A person who's looking into and trying to succeed in physical matters, in his livelihood. So if that's his focus, so what does he get? He makes a buck. And a person who's focused on trying to fix things in this world, that's what he'll get. That's a good thing. But if, says the Alshich, while he's doing it, he's not believing in his own efforts, right? But rather, he is trusting in Hashem, and not in his efforts, and not in the thing he's trying to fix, Ashraf. That person is joyous. That person is praiseworthy. Kigam. Because even though it is good for a person to be concerned about his financial matters, so I need to make sure that my actions are not the main thing. My ishtadlus, my efforts are not the main thing. Rather, that which Hashem commands His blessing. If I succeed, it's because Hashem commanded His blessing. That's why I succeeded. Ki mimenu pina mimenu yated lo yimay nechasav. Because it's from Hashem. Whether or not I have that comfort, that stability, right? If Hashem decides, then nothing can touch me. Nothing can touch my stuff. That's the Alshich. The Shla. The Shla says that it's not a bad thing to put in effort, to be focused, and to try to accomplish, and to do things. But if he also trusts in Hashem as he's doing that, and not in his own strength and mind and his power, Ashraf, that person is praiseworthy. He's joyous, he's happy. Because this person will attain that which he wishes with Hashem's help. And I want to insert here an idea, a thought that I'm contemplating right now. And that is that, at this time of year, right before Pesach, I'm working on a cappella. Working on that stuff that's going to come out right after Pesach, Bezrat Hashem. And there's a lot, Baruch Hashem, I've been doing this for a long time. Put out, I think, 18, maybe more, albums of a cappella music, vocal music. So I've got it, right? In a certain way, I get it. But there's a feeling of, let's get this done, that runs through, I know, I'm pretty sure that it happens to most of us, or we're involved in a project, or we're in work, or whatever it is. We want to complete it. We want to do it. We want to complete it. We want to finish it. And it's easy to be caught up in action. And the feeling is, when we leave Hashem out, this is my experience at least, the feeling is and it's hard to bring Hashem in. What exactly does that mean? So for me, it could mean I'm trying right now, as I'm working, to say, Hashem, please help me. Literally stopping, pausing, saying, Hashem, please help me. Another thing I've been thinking about recently is making spaces, pauses, just like right now, as I speak. I'm intentionally making a space between my words. In between, if I create space, I make a space instead of rushing. I'm in the middle, even on, I'm editing something on the computer. I'm going to pause for a moment, a momentary pause, just to make space. And when I make space, Hashem fills that space. Because when I'm rushing and moving and trying to complete something, it's all me. Just a natural thing. That's how it goes. But if I can create some space, a pause, a place that Hashem can fill in, and I can notice just a momentary thing, and it's possible to get into the habit of doing that. So I think it's connected here to what the Shlomo is saying, that when a person is constantly involved, so that's okay. But you also have to find that space. You have to be Bitach B'Shem, means find the space within my work, within my hishtadlus, to be able to draw Hashem in, to remind myself, this is Hashem doing it, it's not me. Brings here from the Shevet Miyehuda. L'chayra sefer himenageres l'reisha. We look at this passuk, and the second part of the pasuk seems to be at odds with the first part of the pasuk. And then the pasuk says, trust in Hashem in all of your ways. The beginning of the pasuk seems to be saying that I need to think about matters. I need to use my intellect. I need to put in efforts, and then it will be good. So we need to say that this is how it's to be understood. What it means to say is that you could have a person who thinks about a matter, and he thinks that this is the right thing to do, and this is how it's going to be successful. This is how I'm going to succeed, how it's going to be good. Don't depend on your mind. Trust in Hashem. Keep asking as you're contemplating and thinking, oh, what's the right way to go? Hashem, is this what you want? Is this what Hashem wishes for me? If you do that, Ashrav, that person is praiseworthy. The person who is wise and has figured out the good plan, but nevertheless trusts in Hashem, Ashrav. And certainly if the matter that he's contemplating, or that the guy's a professional, he knows how it works, he knows the business, right? Even his chakmus hayiser negi bnei adam. Sometimes it could be something that you are very wise about, you're very experienced about. You are smarter than most people in this area. You have figured this one out. Let it all go. Live in the pause. Pause. The person thinks, this thing can happen to me easily. Yeah, I know what to do. Yeah, I know how to get it. But actually, if I just let Hashem do it, instead of me doing it, it could just come in a very natural, I don't need to run after it. Ashraf. Then that person is praiseworthy, and it reminds me of something that the Alter Navardik says, that there's a general principle. We know that if you run after honor, Chazal say, if you run after honor, so honor runs away from you. The Alter Nevari says it's not just true in regards to honor, but it's true in regards to all things, all matters. If I run after something, it runs away from me. If I run away from something, if I run away from honor, so then the honor pursues me. Right? Play hard to get. Like, it's a principle, it's reverse psychology with kids, maybe, or with ourselves. But it's also true in a spiritual sense. If I'm running after something or someone, it runs away from me. Right? Like a little kid, you want to hug the little kid. If the child doesn't feel like they're able to choose it, so then it's not a real hug. And they run away from the hug. And that's true about anything. In spiritual matters, in the physical realm, if I am too grabby, the thing slips out of my hand. Tafasta maruba lo tafasta. If I try to grab too much, I end up with nothing. Now he brings to the Peliyotes. Misha oisa malachta keva. If a person makes their malacha, their work, to be the main thing in their life, so then that person is given over to nature. But a person who fears God, that his desire is the Torah, and he really wants to fulfill Hashem's commandments, and instead of making the main thing his physical sustenance, instead of being involved completely with livelihood, he makes the main thing in his life his spiritual sustenance, and he makes his livelihood secondary. So then Hashem will send blessings which are supernatural, outside of the regular order of things. That person will have supernatural strength, health. Even if he lives in circumstances or under conditions that ordinarily would cause someone to be in pain and to not be healthy. He's busy, he's involved, but his work is spiritual. The passuk says, those who hope to Hashem, those who their focus is on Hashem, so they get renewed strength. They have all they need. They have wealth. And of course, who's a really wealthy person? Someone who's happy with his lot. The person who has a spiritual focus, so they get everything that they need. Whether with their knowledge, not with their knowledge. This is what the pasuk means, our pasuk. That which, a person who is wise will find good, but someone who trusts in Hashem is joyous, deeply joyous. So it's means to say that he doesn't get involved in thinking so deeply into his physical matters. It's secondary to him. That person, person who trusts in Hashem and does not go the regular way of the world, being busy with physical matters, Ashrav, that person is praiseworthy. Thank you so much for listening. See you again next time.